New at 5, it was a very late night for lawmakers at the Iowa State House. Take a look. KCCI was there at 5 o'clock this morning as bleary-eyed lawmakers walked out after a marathon session on the Senate floor. An argument over child labor laws was driving that debate.
And Chief Political Reporter Amanda Rooker is live at the State House today, where that bill eventually did pass. Amanda?
Stacey, Scott, it was a long night at the State House, as you mentioned. After a long, intense debate, the Senate did vote on a bill that would change Iowa's child labor laws just before 5 a.m. this morning. Now, supporters of this bill say that it is a needed update to Iowa law that gives kids more opportunity, but opponents call this bill dangerous and irresponsible.
So we're kind of hearing a lot of feedback on a lot of different issues.
As vice president of a healthcare agency, Marcy Strauss works with businesses across the state.
Our employers need more workers.
But as a court-appointed special advocate, she's also seen teenagers struggle to find a job.
One of the kids last year turned 14. He could not even get a call back because of his age. And so when he would call to follow up, a lot of it was around, well, your hours are so restricted. We really need to have more flexibility in when we're scheduling.
Strauss argues that's a problem this bill would solve by allowing teens to work more hours a day. Kids under 16 would be able to work 6 hours a day instead of 4. And 16 and 17-year-olds would be able to work the same hours as adults. Jessica Dunker with the Iowa Restaurants Association argues those changes will help businesses and Iowa teens.
The sentiment behind these changes was always to expand opportunities for teenagers who are looking to work.
The bill would also allow kids to work later. Instead of having to stop at 7 p.m., kids under 16 could work until 9 p.m. during the school year and 11 p.m. in the summer.
Probably needs a cleanup.
But Charlie Wishman, president of the Iowa Federation of Labor, argues those changes are bad for Iowa teenagers.
Once you get over about 20 hours a week, that's when kids' grades start to drop. That's when kids start dropping out of school. That's when test scores drop.
He also worries the bill could put kids in danger.
It still does allow kids to work in assembly. It still allows kids to be working in factories where there are explosives. There are still plenty of dangerous occupations out there the kids are now going to be allowed into.
Democrats brought those concerns to the Senate floor, but Republicans argue the bill does have safety regulations. The bill still needs House approval before it can become law.
Now, another major change that this bill would make, it would allow 16 and 17-year-olds to serve alcohol in restaurants, but not in bars. Now, this bill did pass the Senate with 32 Republicans voting yes. 2 Republicans did join all Democrats in voting no. Scott?
And Amanda, this was a very long debate. What exactly kept lawmakers at the Capitol all night?
Well, Scott, there was clashing over the content of this bill, but there was also clashing over procedure. Part of that delay came when a Republican refused to answer a question from a Democrat about an amendment to the bill. After that happened, Democrats left to go to a private meeting. When they came back, Republicans refused to answer more questions. Now, lawmakers aren't legally required to answer questions, but they usually do. Senate Republicans cited a recent Iowa Supreme Court ruling arguing that any inaccurate information lawmakers say during debate about legislative intent might now be used in court to declare bills unconstitutional.